Welcome to WHS Visual Arts YouTube channel. Today we are going over making a value scale. Please note some parts of the video are sped up to save time. We're going to start off by making 11 1-inch boxes. So we're going to start measuring starting at the 0, marking off every inch all the way to 11. And then draw your line across. Then we're going to measure 1 inch down so we can have our boxes 1 inch by 1 inch. And we'll do this on both sides of our line. Once you have both dots, measure the two dots to make sure that they are 11 inches apart so that your value scale is nice and even and not crooked. If the dots are not exactly 11 inches, redraw your dash marks and then draw your line across, and we're going to measure every inch again. Now we can draw our lines across to create our scale. Now you should have 11 1-inch by 1-inch boxes across your paper. We're going to label these boxes by 10% increments, starting at 0%, working our way all the way to 100%. Also notice how closely we've drew the value scale to the edge of the paper. This is important for a step we will do later on. Also label your value scale with what pencil you are using. So for this one, I'm using the 6B pencil. And I'm starting to shade the outer edge of the box so that it helps me stay inside the lines. And you want to make sure you're shading nice and evenly. If you have any areas that are white, you want to make sure to go back and blend in those areas with the rest of the square. And also notice where I'm holding my pencil. For the dark one, I was holding at the end, and for this light one, I'm holding it from the very end of the pencil. With the lighter values, you want to go very slow so you can control the pencil and not have lines or gaps. Here in the video, it's sped up, so it's going quite quickly. When shading the darker values, it's always best to start off lighter and then slowly build up to the value that you want. It's easier to erase a lighter value than to erase a mistake when it's super dark and you've pressed hard. After you've pressed hard, if you try to erase, it won't erase back to 100% white. It'll leave a ghost residue of the value you had there before. And if you're not sure if your value is dark enough, it's safer to just stop and move on to another square and compare the values at the end and decide which ones you need to make darker at the end. Again, it's always easier to add dark values rather than erasing and lightening up the values. So when you are done shading, you need to know how to use your value scale. And here's your value scale. Sometimes when you're looking at a still life or a black and white image, it's hard to tell how dark or how light you should work with your pencil, or know which pencil to work with. And using your value scale can help you with this. So what we're going to do is punch a hole in each box. And this way you can take your image and you can lay your boxes directly on top of the image to find the appropriate value that you need. And this will help you figure out which pencil you should use, whether it's a B pencil or an H pencil, or sometimes it's just a matter of knowing what percentage value that you want to use for that particular object